Today on the grid, it's Gear Q&A Day, so we're taking your questions about lenses and camera bodies and lighting gear and accessories, you name it. I'd like to tell you a little bit about my co-host. My co-host, well, he's from the Sudan. His shades are Ray-Ban. He's kicking it with Charlie Chan. He sings a little ditty about Jack and Diane. He doesn't like Ginger. He likes Marianne. He's got a limited attention span. He raps with Roxanne. His favorite CMYK color is cyan, and he sails around in a catamaran. He's the real rocket man, Erik Kuna. We got a bunch of giveaways today, some fun photos to share. We got all sorts of cool stuff, and it all starts in just 21.3 seconds. Let's go.
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of The Grid. It's Wednesday. I'm here with the real rocket man, Mr. Kuna.
Hey, Scott. How's it going?
It's going good. Kuna's only here for today. He is flying out tonight out to the West Coast for a secret project.
Ooh, secret mission.
I know what it is, but he'll tell you in good time.
Yeah, there you go.
But he's got a secret mission tonight, Anyway, I don't have a secret mission. My mission is simply to answer questions today, because today is Gear Q&A Day.
Gear Q&A.
So we get the most questions about lenses and about camera bodies and about plugins and about computers, like all kinds of
storage,
all that stuff.
Even gear like just for traveling around, different gear.
All that stuff.
Anything.
So any of those things that you have questions about.
How to make a chicken sandwich, an air fryer,
how to
whatever.
make an air fryer chicken sandwich, or how to make the best sliders in your own home.
Yeah,
we have all of that and more. That's today. We've got some stuff to show you. We got some giveaways. Let's go through the giveaways real quick. What are we giving away today?
Got tons of stuff given away. So we've got the, let's see, right here, the travel photography book. We're going to be giving away that as well. We got the travel photography book.
Hey, can I mention something about that?
Yeah.
I just got the German version. I think this is the German version, right?
Yes.
You would say it was German, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think what we decided that was
the German version. So the German version, it comes out in all kinds of different languages, but I just got the German one here. And they always choose a different cover. Like they always choose a different picture.
Different image.
But anyway, glad to have it.
Change the title slightly sometimes.
Yeah. So they changed it to something travel recipes or something instead of the travel photography book.
So, and then we have the How Do I Do That in Lightroom? Oh, I don't know what this is, but anyways, How Do You Do That in Lightroom book?
Oh, they stuck it on the front of my
there you go
other book.
That one too. How Do I Do That in Lightroom?
Yep. How do I do that?
And then we're going to be giving away a copy of On One Effects 2022.
Yes.
Yes, a plugin for Photoshop and Lightroom. So there you go.
You're about to see some images that have some On One applied to them.
Yeah, it has some effects applied. Yeah, there you go. And then from V-Flat Worlds, we're going to be giving away one V-Flat. These are great because they fold up and they can fit right in your car. No big truck or big van needed.
Dude, how is it? I mean, nothing against V-Flat World because they're awesome, obviously. How did it that nobody thought of it before them?
I know, right? Well, I mean, there was ways of doing it by yourself, but you'd always have to build it.
Yeah, it was a DIY. No, theirs are so well done. Yeah. It's like there's one of those companies where you think, boom. How did nobody think of this first? But they did. So hats off to them.
And then we're also giving away one of their dual board XLs where you can kind of put down, it's two pieces of, you've got the floorboard in the background, kind of do those interesting backdrops.
A friend of mine uses theirs, and they're so good.
Yes.
You'd never know.
Great for product, food photography.
Food photography. She does food and product photography, both.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's for U.S. shipping only. So to enter that one, you got to be U.S. shipping. And then we're also giving away VFAT World, giving away a discount for everybody that's watching if they go to the checkout and use the code Kelby10 at checkout over at vflatworld.com. And then we have a new sponsor.
Sponsor.
So we got Imogen. So if you go over to Imogen-AI. You can go over there, and everybody that signs up gets 1,000 free AI edits. So what it is it's a plugin that goes into your Lightroom Classic. Then you basically tell it, hey, here's my editing style. So you have to load in a bunch of photos and tell it your editing style. Or you can use their professional photographers that they've worked with, their editing styles as well. But what it does is it analyzes your photos when you load in that group of photos. and it comes up with a look that's your consistent. Like it's studying how you're editing and how your look.
It uses AI.
And that way, it's able to apply your look through AI to any of your future images that you want edited.
Right,
So
and
really
for people
cool.
that are doing high volume work,
Yes, that's what it is. It's definitely
it's
designed.
basically, it's almost like having an intern just copy what you do, right, and just do them all.
Yeah.
But it does it all automated. It's robots are stealing your jobs kind of thing.
Well, but it's
AI.
cool. It's cool for the people that are like doing that just volume.
No,
like,
no
like
response
serious
to the
volume.
robots are stealing your jobs joke. Nothing?
Well, robots are stealing our jobs, but we got to figure out new ways to have new jobs.
better
right?
jobs.
So all it is it's stealing one job, so you can go do other jobs.
Yes.
So there you go. Now you're just having a robot
Yes.
do your basic editing how you would do it.
I love when robots do my basic editing.
Yeah, there
All
you go.
right. So we got some stuff to share. First off, it is Gear Q&A Day, so any questions you have, drop them in the forums right now. We're happy to get to them, so please drop them in there. How does somebody win one of these giveaways? What do they have to do?
You just got to leave a comment. Just tell us what you'd like to win, and then also ask a question. Tell us where you're from, all that stuff. But just enter in a chat. Tell them, hey, I want to win the travel photography book.
I want to win the
That's
on
it.
one. Yeah, just tell us so
entered.
we don't send you the wrong thing, right?
Yes.
All right. So, hey, I finally got around to sharing my images from my trip to Tuscany on Adobe Express, which used to be called Adobe Spark. I'll take you through that real quick, and then we'll look at some images Mr. Kuna's been getting. So, I did a travel photography workshop, which I do 2 of them a year, and Erik and I are doing one. We're doing one in February in Cuba. So we're working on all the details. We'll have more details soon. But it's me and Erik in Cuba.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing for 12 people and me and Erik. It's going to be crazy.
It'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, Cuba is an amazing photographer's paradise, and it's like going back in time. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've been to Cuba. I love it. It's so much to photograph there. The people, the culture, the architecture, the food. Cuban
Yes, the food.
Food, so good. Anyway, boof.
One of my favorites.
All right. So anyway, I'll take you to, this is one of the workshops I just did a few weeks ago. And here we'll take a look. This is Adobe Express, which allows you to easily add text and images, and you get to decide how big you want your images.
Look at that. And that's just all atmosphere. That's what was there.
Yeah.
Isn't that right down the street from your hotel?
That is right down the street. That is the church
Crazy.
from the movie Gladiator. It was made famous by the movie Gladiator. And, there's... we were lucky to have a bunch of fog that morning, and we had fog most mornings. So that was kind of nice.
That's a dream.
And then you can
That's
put
a
captions. Yeah, I told
Especially that type of fog, where it's not that soft fog. It's
No,
kinda
it's the low hanging.
rolling.
Yeah, look at
that's
it
great.
rolling in there. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was beautiful. We were very lucky. I went into my gear and all the different stuff. And you can actually shoot some in the day. So this is a broad daylight.
Love that. But
shot.
I love the simplicity of it.
And this is a pano taken from the same spot as you saw the opening shot. We went there 3 days. No, now my whole class didn't go there 3 days. I went there 2 days as I was scoping different locations, and then the class went there once. I did actually go back there. So one of my students accidentally had left his camera set at 1600 ISO. And it was a camera that doesn't have great ISO stuff. So I did take him back. So
yeah, that's always hard.
Teresa wants to know, are you going to do a class on how you process these images? I am. So I did tape 2 classes there, and I process them. If you go watch my 7-point system for Lightroom, it's exactly how I do it.
And you
I already
also,
have that
while you were
class.
out there, shot a class on how to shoot with your iPhone.
No, I shot 2 classes.
Yeah.
I shot 2 classes on how to shoot travel with your iPhone.
Yeah.
As your only camera or your second camera.
Yeah.
So anyway, these are some of the shots. And different days, you got different stuff. I love that smoke and the clouds. And it's weird.
Atmosphere is great.
What's weird is this is a place that you would shoot after dawn. Like this is the only before dawn shoot we did was right here because we're waiting for the. It was right near another shoot, right?
Mhm.
And then once the sun comes up, things get really interesting.
And those are Scott Kelby's favorite shoots when you don't have to be up before.
Yeah, these were sunrise was 7:20, but we had to wait further. So see that row of cypress trees?
Yeah.
This is them. So then we drove down to that very kind of a popular spot.
Was that from Gladiator too? There, that one above.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Could have been.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I feel like I've seen that. Well, it's probably in that whole region. That's cool. Look at that.
Yeah, that's Mimo style.
That's Mimo style.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell.
And there's Montepulciano, which is a city on a hill that was lots of fun to climb up. Eric, you know I love going up hills.
That's Scott Kelby's second favorite thing.
Yeah,
Waking up early
where do you
before
park?
dawn.
Yeah,
and
you
climbing
park
up
way down
hills.
here, and then you go zit, 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 zit. And then by this time you're saying all kinds of swear words. Zit, 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 zit. But here's the thing: is like we had to get to a particular place. If you're there as a tourist and you're just rolling and going, it's fine.
Yeah, but the nice part about that is you do all that walking, and then you go eat the food there. And it kind of negates out.
Oh, yes. Yes. You can eat crazy food because you just walked a million steps.
I love that shot.
Thank you. That's a really cool church I ever shot. That is from Montepulciano.
Oh, the lighting.
And my buddy Kelly turned me on to that. And this is the church I did overshoot it to death because I was really taken with it because it's like all by itself.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is like the Highland cows.
Oh, the Highland cows. You can never get enough of them. This is Siena, another city on a hill with steep climbs. It's fun. And we did some panos there. And then I got one night in Florence. So we went up to the, this is from the Piazza Michelangelo, where you basically have one shot. It's that Duomo. So how many ways can you shoot the Duomo? The next morning we went to the Duomo. There it is. At dawn, nobody there. You go early. Look at Mimo's tripod.
Wow.
He let me use this tripod for a shot. You have to get on your tiptoes to be able to just touch your screen to shoot the long exposure. It's kind of dumb. Kind of crazy, but I'm not tall enough. Mimo's taller than me, so he wins. Long exposure. Here's another shot taken from up at the Michelangelo. Packed full of people. Packed.
Yeah, you guys had the cloud magic.
Dude, we had clouds on a level. Look at this
none
iPhone.
None of these are sky replacements, right?
No. Look at these. Look at this.
No, the iPhone, yeah.
And then just, shooting around, having fun. Hey, I'm in Tuscany. Went to this guy's winery. My friend knows him, and so we went out to his winery. Really cool guy. Just different shots, shooting around, iPhone stuff there. iPhone. And I got a bunch of behind-the-scenes shot of my crew traveling around singing songs in our 17-passenger van. There's our van, Mercedes van, like, Mr. Kuna, what? Out shooting. Look at us with the fog out there.
Yep. And then in the classroom.
And then there's us at the... You can see us different times, and we hired I told Mimo, so my co-instructor is Mimo Madani, the amazing Mimo, which I love him. And so then I said, Mimo, I need a theme. I want to find a cellist or a violin player that will come and model for us for the class, because we were going to go to this church that you see with no roof.
Oh, and if you tell Mimo something, he's going to find it.
He's on it. 25 minutes later, he says, I have a model from Brazil. She's a model from Brazil who plays beautiful violin. She's going to take a train from Florence to Siena and then a taxi out to where we were. And she was wonderful. Her name's Anna. And we all got to photograph her. And she was wonderful. And the music was phenomenal. She plays for weddings and different. She's phenomenal. Here we are just out shooting and polluting. There's Mimo, me and dinner with Mimo, and with the crew. And that's my trip right there. That's it.
Nice.
And you can get to that from
great
if you want to see it in more depth. You can get to my Facebook page, S Kelby, or you can go to Twitter or any of those. I posted the links to them.
From there,
Lots of questions coming in. Great. Love to hear it. And let's get a couple of questions in. After the break, we're going to look at Mr. Kuna. He's got some rocket photos because he's been shooting as always.
So this first one, Kevin LaDuff's asking, could you talk about a Nikon Z7 versus the Nikon Z9? I know Nikon, not Canon, which is totally
we don't care.
cool.
What do we care?
Yeah.
So Kevin, I have a bunch of friends that have both.
And I was going to say the same thing.
I have a bunch of friends that have both.
I have one that I shoot with a lot that has both.
All right. Now, I will say this. I think from what I've learned, the Nikon Z7 II is for most folks all you need.
Yeah.
The Z7 9 is the top of the line. I've got money to burn. I'm
The
a
Z9.
I'm sorry, the Z9. What did I say?
Is the top D7 9, but
Oh.
Z9 is the top of the
Yes,
line. Yeah.
it's the top of the line. It's a very expensive camera. It's the best camera Nikon makes. It's probably the best camera that Nikon has ever
the
made.
Flagship. That's the
It's
fast
the flagship.
one.
It's the fastest. It's the cleanest. It's the best. It's the heaviest. It's everything all in one. If you can do that and you've got the money, you know, if you're an anesthesiologist, if you're a hedge fund broker, if you're any of those people that has money to burn.
Or if you're shooting something where you know you need speed. That's really where I'd say the
right.
difference
If you're
is.
shooting wildlife or action sports
Action sports.
on a professional level.
Yeah, like you're actually getting paid to do this, or you know, it's something that's a hobby that
And you
again
can
you're
justify
getting paid
it.
to do, and you can justify it. Or
But-
again, like Scott said, you just got the money.
But would I tell most people go and spend the money on that? No, I would not. And I do the same thing with Canon, by the way. It's not a Nikon thing. I tell most people, you know what? The R6 for the money is an unbelievable value. The R5 is really nice. It's very expensive. It's for a particular market. Just like the
That's what when we're talking about this.
Yeah.
If we're comparing it to Canon, it'd be like the R5 and R6 versus the R3.
yeah,
And it's kind of like the Z7's kind of like has qualities of the R5 and the R6.
Right.
And then you've got the R3 would be like the Z9.
Yeah.
Of course, the Z9's got some impressive specs. It really does.
Now, will the pictures look different from your Z9 to the Z7 II?
Not
You
much.
probably won't notice any difference
Not much.
whatsoever. What you will notice is more frames per second, and it's more durable. You know, if you're shooting sports and you're running up and down the sidelines of a football game or
Yeah,
something,
you got one hanging
it's
off, bumping
incredibly
all the
durable.
time.
You can take that
Yeah.
thing. It's not a Sony. That thing's built like a rock. You drop a Sony,
And I will say, and in all fairness, because I've been using Sony's as well, you know, I try to use all of them, keep up to speed with all of them. Sony's is getting better.
dude. One of my
getting
students
better.
told me a Sony exploding story.
I know, but it's getting better.
Dude, you drop a
I'm just
Sony,
saying.
and they're so expensive. I was teaching, getting ready to teach a class, and I was doing some research on what lenses cost. Dude, it's like Tamron, Canon, Nikon, Sony, like for the same exact lens.
Yeah,
it's so
no,
expensive.
you are right. Like this, especially
Holy
the
crap.
Sony official Sony lenses.
Oh
not
my
the aftermarket
gosh, they're
lenses.
so expensive.
The Sony lenses are. I think a lot of people don't realize that going into it. Like they're G series, like so what the L glass,
Right,
or, you know,
right.
something would
the
be
comparable
like,
Nikon and
like
Canon.
so. Yeah, if you're
lenses.
going to the comparable Nikon and Canon, I agree. It's a good 25% more.
25% more. Eric, I looked at one that was more than double for the exact same lens.
I say, and overall, it is about 25% more.
Anyway, yeah, no, you're probably right.
But
I saw some that I was stunned.
They were some of the older ones. They were a little susceptible. But they're getting better. They're getting better. Put it that way.
Someone told me a story on my workshop that made me freak out about. They accidentally dropped it, just like, oh, it fell off, and it was exploded. Their camera is like a grenade. All right, so anyway, that's what I think I would say is, look, if you've got the money, you know, to burn, why not? Why not buy the best? You know, it's like, so that's that. But could I tell a friend who's like, yeah, it's a little expensive for me? I go, oh, dude, get the Z7 II. Get that. That's a phenomenal. I don't know anybody that didn't have a Z7 II that isn't crazy in love with it. So that would be my recommendation. I mean, you're going to get more features and stuff, but remember, when you buy a higher end camera, you don't get better looking photos. You get more features. You know, it's just like when you buy cars. When you buy the next car up, it still gets you there. It's still a BMW or whatever. But if you buy the really expensive BMW, it has more features. Yep. You may or may not need them. It has more cup holders. All right. Laurent says, I would love to hear Scott's feedback on the Canon RF 14-35, which I have, versus the 24-240. And why didn't he use the 14-35 more? I only took it out once, Laurent, my entire trip. I only took it out once because it's Tuscany. Tuscany is a long range, like everything's far away. I think I took it out. Oh, I only took it out at the Duomo because we were right at the base of the Duomo and I wanted more of it. So I went to it. That was the only time I took it out. I used my my phone or my my 24-240 the entire time. So that's what it was. It's because it is. There's no cathedrals or palaces or churches or things. I mean, there is a church here and there, but it's. I didn't get into one. I got into one, but I didn't feel like I needed it that whole time. But now, that being said, I love my 14-35. I just carried it for 9 solid days for no reason, but I love it. It's great. It's sharp, and it's not expensive. I love all of that. I'm going to answer Barry's question. Barry says, if you have room for one lens on vacation, which do you recommend? Hands down, the Canon 24-240, the Sony 24-240, or the Nikon 24-200. That lens on a mirrorless, I imagine that you have mirrorless,
Yes.
Barry. If on a mirrorless, whoo, fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
And it's more because of the focal range, right? And it's a good lens.
Yeah,
But the focal range.
The focal range is perfect. You're at 24, so you're at wide angle all the way to 240.
Well, I say that because people look at the 24-240 and they look at the cost of it and they go, "Oh, that's not a good lens."
Oh, it's a great lens.
It's a great lens.
It's sharp. It's sharp,
Yeah.
sharp.
So that's the thing.
Lightweight.
It's not only the price is not always the thing.
It's the
right?
dream lens.
Yeah.
It's the incredible value lens. Super versatile. You can shoot anything with it. You can shoot portraits with it. The portrait you
'cause
saw.
you're going 24. You can go to a wide angle.
Yeah.
All the way to 240, which is a pretty tight telephoto.
Hey, this portrait, I want to go just zip up to it real quick here. Oh, I went past it. Hold on. Sorry. This portrait right here. Right.
Did you go past it?
Yeah,
Oh,
right
they're
here.
there.
This portrait. Look at the nice soft background. That's done with the 24-240. It's nice for portraits. It's nice for landscapes. It's nice for travel. It's nice for products. It's nice for food. It's nice for everything. It's so great. And what is it, $1,100 or something? Will you look and see what the exact price is? I could be off by $100.
You're wanting the Canon?
Yeah, and you can price the Sony and the other ones as well if you want. It's gear day, so.
$899.
$899. Make it big. Bring it up big. And get it at B&H.
Well, let's see what the Sony is.
The Sony is
$948.
$948.
About 20%.
About 20% more.
Yeah.
And then go to the Nikon 24-200. If you type that in, it'll get it. $796.
Yeah, so about the same.
So anyway, man, what a great lens for the money. How do you beat that lens? I don't know. How do you beat it? I don't know. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we got more questions. I got a question coming in here from Dwight, and we've got some Kuna pictures. And Tony just popped in so let's go.
Last year at Adobe Max, Adobe launched all that new masking stuff and our minds were blown. It was a real, legitimate game changer. How are they going to follow that up? Ready to get your mind blown part 2. Because in this new class, I'm going to get you up to speed fast on the brand new stuff that Adobe just announced at Adobe Max. All the new incredible masking stuff. They took the masking stuff they did and took it up a whole nother level. It is going to blow your mind when you see it, and I want to show it to you because I want to get you using it. I don't just want to tell you what the features are, I want to show you how to use them. I got some little tips, I got some tricks, I got lots of good stuff for you. Not just Photoshop, not just Classic, not just mobile, but for Photoshop as well. All of that's in this one class. I hope you come and check out my brand new class. Get up to speed fast on the mind-blowing new things in Photoshop and Lightroom 2023 version.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we're back. Scott here with Eric. We've got lots more questions coming in. Hey, the Kuna man's been shooting some rockets. What have we been shooting?
Yeah, so just a couple weeks ago, we had an astronaut launch. So I went up to the International Space Station.
Yep.
So actually, that's it on the pad. And you can see over to the right there, that's actually the Starship pad that they're building on Launch Complex 39A. I think what's cool about this shot is the Starship pad is actually farther away from the camera. So if you look at like how tall that is, that's actually another quarter mile farther away from my camera.
Kidding me. Wow.
That's how big it is.
That's an optical illusion.
So
right
that
there.
will be a huge rocket, because look at how much the one. So went ahead and shot the rocket. You can see how big that rocket is just by there. You can see the people up on the top.
Wow.
Right over there. All right, and then so this is just from the launch. So we got cameras from the launch where we set up, we trigger them, and they go off. And then these are different camera angles that we had from the launch. Here's the long exposure of it. So this is a daytime long exposure. So a little different of a technique. This is actually a 30-second long exposure, and that took 13 stops of ND to get there. And then I got to shoot the astronauts walking out, going to their Teslas before they go up to the pad. So got these shots of them walking out. What's interesting about these shots is I actually have my camera shooting that shot right there about 10 feet above my head on a monopod.
Very clever.
Aimed down, because there's all this junk and stuff. And actually, I think you can see a little bit. Are you triggering it with
a remote, or you have it on?
So all I did is I actually put it on face tracking. I put the just tracking focal, the focus tracking, and then all I did was put it on a time lapse and just took one picture a second, and I'd move around and kind of frame up a shot and then leave it there for a couple seconds, frame up a shot. And so I'm not at my camera at all, but if I was at my camera level, I just getting heads of people. And
hey, did you let them borrow your Model X there to do that?
No, that'd be cool though. And then that's them rolling out to the pad.
That kind of looks like you.
It does?
It does a little.
Here, that was a shot testing out. Actually, test this for other. That's an infrared camera. It's testing out. You can see it's a test because I actually didn't even frame it up right, because I was experimenting with how long it would take to get that shot.
That's okay. You'll get another launch.
You always got to practice and get something. So we sent up a Japanese astronaut from JAXA, and then we also sent up an astronaut from Roscosmos in Russia. So sent up both of those astronauts as well. She was very animated, so I did a lot of shots of that. Our astronauts, not so much. They were very even-keeled. And not so. And this is actually a shot from a camera.
Like that.
That's a 21-year-old camera. That's the one that does that. That's 16,000th of a second.
Wow,
which is
that's
where you're
cool.
seeing that kind of waterfall flame because of all the detail at that fast of a shutter speed. Yeah, and then here's an example of this is in the launch, right? And then having the camera adjust, and then able to get the flame detail as well. So going from that shot to that shot as it's taking off. So that's a matter of a couple seconds. Then was able to do some long exposures. If you can see there's that.
Dude, how many cameras were you shooting?
Oh, for these launches, when they're the astronaut ones, we got a lot of cameras.
Oh my gosh.
And then playing around with the flag here for the mission, kind of doing different things. So I went between focusing on the rocket, focusing on the flag, trying different compositions. And then it just going up, getting through the clouds.
Oh, that's cool.
Getting it way through the clouds. All that good stuff.
Any nebula shots there?
No. Daytime launch, unfortunately, you can't get any of that stuff because it kind of gets drowned out with the sun.
Well, very good. Hey, speaking of that, we have a question here from Steven. He says, a question for the Astro Man Kuna. Is there a tracker that will accommodate the weight of a Sigma 100 to 600 contemporary with an R6? Before we answer that question, Eric, can you tell our viewers what a tracker is?
Sure. So when the sky is constantly moving over our head, actually we're rotating, but the sky is moving over your head, right, from where we're positioned. So if I'm shooting my camera this way, and I shoot, the stars are going to start trailing or moving as I shoot, right?
Right.
So what a tracker does is just basically locks your camera on the rotational axis of the universe. So basically right next to Polaris, that's where we rotate around. So you're locking your camera there, and then as your camera is moving with the sky. So that's tracker. It's tracking the sky.
All right, now for Stephen's question.
Right.
Is there a tracker big enough that'll accompodate the weight of a Sigma?
Absolutely.
1 to 6?
Absolutely. Once you get a little bigger with the tracker, I mean, you can get Ioptron and Skywatcher both have one that go up to about 16 pounds is what you can counterweight. So I'm not sure with the Sigma 150-600 with the R6 what we'd be talking about weight-wise, but the Ioptron, their Skyguider Pro, and then the Sky Adventurer, I forget which model of it, it's their top-of-the-line one that's independent. Now, once you get past that, you can get trackers that will go up to hundreds of pounds, do big telescopes. It just comes down to money. You know, it's just you're needing more of a counterweight, you're needing a bigger gear. So yes, you can definitely do that. It's just going to cost you more. And that's honestly why I kind of cap out around that 600 millimeter range, because once you start getting over that weight, you really need to get up into the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 trackers.
All right.
And I'm getting into the $400, $500, $600 trackers.
All right, another question from Mr. Kuna. Dwight says, what wide-angle lens for shooting the Milky Way would you recommend for a Sony full-frame camera?
Great question. They're going to be, when you say wide angle, I'm going to assume a couple things that you're talking about, like at least 14 to 24 millimeter, nothing closer than 24 millimeters.
Yeah.
Right. So, and actually 24 is a great place to start with the Milky Way, because that's where you get some of your value. But when you're talking about the Sony, kind of picked out a couple here, because I saw this question on the break. So I've actually shot, this is a good one for quality with the price, right? So this one's $800. It's a 20 millimeter. It goes down to f1.8. I've actually shot a lot of astro with that lens with a A7 IV. It works very well. The other one, if you're willing to spend a little bit more, is going for the 24 1.4. That one is good as well. However, with that said, I tend not to like prime lenses anymore. I just don't. Now they're definitely, you get more value and you can get a little better quality sometimes, but for what the difference is, just go with like a 16 to 35 if you've got the money for it. You know, that one's a great lens. But if you really got the money, that 24 or that 12 to 24, that's where it's at. So those are the lenses. Now, you can go aftermarket. I would always Sigma has some great choices in there as well. But it really matters on those two things. Do you want a prime? Prime's going to save you a little bit of money, but the zoom, that way I've got, like right now, my main lens is my 15 to 35, 2.8. That's what pretty much every shot is.
All righty, Tony. Channy asks, I have an A7 Sony. It's got Sony A7R3 and a 70 to 300 G lens, so it's a good lens. Mm-hmm. When shooting an air show, is it better to stick with full frame or put it in crop sensor mode?
Well, so this is an interesting one, right, Scott?
It's an easy one.
Well, one I can tell you right now, one of the reasons you're going into crop sensor mode is because you have a 70 to 300. And the reason is because 300 is not long enough.
It's not long enough.
It's not long enough. And that's really to answer your question. Like, should you stick with full frame? Yes, because all crop sensor is doing is cropping in camera. You're losing all those pixels and they're gone. Now, I guess if maybe you didn't have big enough memory cards or you just wanted to crop.
Let's cut to the chase. Tony,
you need a longer lens.
You need a longer lens. Tony, go to lenspro2go.com and rent like a Sigma or a Tamron. I use the Tamron 150 to 600.
Yep.
It's phenomenal.
Any of those.
And it's not expensive. And it's lightweight, and you will love it.
You need really to get out that 500
to 600 is where you got to be.
That's the sweet spot. It really is. For where spectators are for an air show, 5 to 600 millimeters is the ideal
Every
range.
once in a while, the plane will fly close to you, and you'll be okay with the 300. But most of the time, you'll get a big frame and a little tiny jet or a little tiny plane.
That's what's so awesome about when you have that 150 to 600 range, because when you get formations and they're coming closer and you want to zoom out, you can go all the way out to 150, so you can get that wide. But then
Yep.
most of the time, where are you sitting at? Like when you use your Tamron?
500 to 600.
I'm usually all the way out at 600, hardly pulling back.
Yeah.
Hardly pulling back.
Yep. So that's an easy one. Bill wants to know, do we have a current recommendation for a solid travel tripod? Bill, there's a lot of good ones out there. I just took with me to Tuscany one of the ones from Three-Legged Thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they were a UK-based company. They make very nice, lightweight travel tripods.
I love theirs because it folds up really compact.
They
You can
fold
fit
up really
in your
small.
backpack, not
Yeah.
outside your backpack, in your backpack.
Yep, you can get really small ones. So go look at Three-Legged Thing. I'm not sure if B&H sells them or not. Let me go look real quick. They used to. I don't know if they do. Let's see. Three-Legged Thing. Oh, yeah. They sell them, and they have names, all right? Let's see. That's not the one. The Punks. So the Punks is their kind of really cheapy line. Go to the next one up. There's a Mike. They have names. They give people names. Patty. The one I took with me was wasn't the Winston. Was it the Corey? I have the Corey. I either took the Corey or the Albert.
Yeah, and really, I think the question you've got to answer when you're talking about a travel tripod is like, what is your use for it? You know, like, don't spend a lot of money if you're just like, I'm going to use it every once in a while, and you know, I really care about it compact up, small size, because usually, I mean, if I'm going out for landscape, I'm really not using a travel tripod because they're kind of flimsy. You know, so it just matters like what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
with
he's asking travel. He asked travel
so if you're
tripod.
asking travel, like, and actually another one that I did rent this one and tested it out for 2 weeks while we went on a trip was this Peak Design
come
one.
on, that thing's so expensive.
It is, but it is lightweight.
I know. One of the guys on my last my Tuscany workshop had that Peak one.
It's
really nice.
I mean, it is. I know it's expensive.
Yeah,
but
it's very nice. It's very lightweight.
It's very lightweight.
Very lightweight.
But I wouldn't use it because, again, for me, it's too flimsy.
I didn't think it was flimsy.
Well, when you start getting into wind and you're out at night,
he asked for
I'm
travel.
not saying it's like
he asked for
it's
travel.
not terrible.
Yes.
But yeah, for travel, that's why I would recommend it. I think for travel, it's super lightweight. It could fit in the backpack. But I also love what Scott's talking about, those Peak Design ones, or the three-legged
things. Yeah. You know who else makes a nice one? The one that Rami uses.
Leo Photo?
No. He uses another one. It's like 5 letters. It's like Cirrus or some way.
Cirrus?
Is it Cirrus?
Yeah.
They don't have those at B&H, do they?
I think so.
But it's not spelled the way you'd think. How is it spelled? It's Cirrus, right?
Sirui. I think maybe.
Tripod. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Those are surprisingly nice for the money.
Yeah, those are nice for the money too.
Like this one here for $329. It comes with a ball head.
See now, but these I like because
they're thicker.
But
they're still lightweight.
They're still lightweight, but they're kind of more in that they're not going to fit inside a backpack. They're going to be outside. They're going to be strapped on.
You could use these for landscape too.
That's what I like about them. But that's usually if I'm shooting travel, I'm shooting landscape.
All right. We need to take a break. When we come back, we've got some more questions. Dwight says the Sony 12 to 24 f2.8 would be a great grid prize.
Sure would.
Wouldn't it? And you know, Dwight, if Sony would send us one, we would be so happy to give it away. But has Sony contacted us and said, would like you to give this away? No, they have not. But we can always dream, Dwight.
Yep. There you go.
So there are some things that we decided to do early on to make our online training really resonate with photographers and make it an immersive experience. We're in Manhattan with a ballerina from the New York City Ballet. Or when we teach you travel photography, you're right there with the instructor in the streets of Paris or Venice, learning everything from the camera techniques to the photography techniques to the camera settings. We're flying a squadron of warbirds in formation off the coast, and you're right there in the chase plane, and you see it all unfold right in front of you. Whether we're in the studio or out in the field, you're right there every step of the way. With 24/7 access, you can watch it on your desktop or laptop, your tablet or your phone. We even have an Apple TV app. You can also take classes offline, so if you're traveling, you don't have internet access, you can still keep learning. We've put together learning tracks that start you off by suggesting specific classes. And when you're done with that, you're ready to start exploring more than 800 classes. If you think your best images are still inside you, let us help you break through that, take you to the next level. We'll see you in class.
What if you could hire an extra set of hands just to deal with editing your photos? And what if this assistant was thinking and editing exactly like you? With Imagine, this is not a distant dream. Introducing your new personalized AI Lightroom Classic editing assistant. It analyzes your unique editing style down to the very last detail and applies that style instantly and uniquely to every new photo from your Adobe Lightroom catalogs. Whether it's color correction, cropping, or straightening, Imagine's AI assistant knows what needs to be done based on your previous edits. The AI constantly learns your unique point of view and improves. With just a few clicks, Imagine edits your photos in your personal style faster than ever. It takes less than half a second per photo at all volumes. Now you can finally have the time to scale up your business and win back free time. In addition to creating your own personal AI profile, you can also use one of our pre-built talent AI profiles if you are uncertain about your unique style or just want to explore the signatory styles of leading photographers. Your new AI assistant is here to deliver. Achieve amazing results right from the first frame and maintain the highest level of precision in each and every photo. Starting at only a few cents per photo, you get fantastic value for your money and save hours of work. So say goodbye to hours of tedious manual editing and to presets that distort your photos and underdeliver. And say hello to the future.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back. Scott here with Erik, and we're answering your questions about gear and stuff. So if you got a question, drop it in the comments. It automatically enters you for the contest. So if you ask a question, make sure you include what you'd like to win from today, because we're giving away books and all kinds of stuff. Hey, I mentioned earlier about that I shot a class on using the iPhone as your main phone for travel or your second body for travel. If you can just look at my screen real quick. I posted this on my Facebook page this week. That's not my screen, but sure. This is an iPhone photo taken with my iPhone 12. So not the new one, not the latest, greatest, not even last year's model. This is going back. This is an iPhone. Here's another one taken from my phone. Nothing special, no tripods, no, just pointing and shooting and stuff. Another iPhone photo.
Yeah, but you're not just pointing and shooting. Just to be clear.
What am I doing? I haven't tapped the screen as well.
Composing,
well, yeah, I mean, stuff. What I'm saying is,
the reason when people say point and shoot, that's
what I mean by that is, I'm not using special accessories.
No, you're not.
I'm not using a tripod.
But the reason they look awesome is because you're at the right place at the right
time,
and you have the skills.
Lightroom post processing. So Lightroom's on your phone and Lightroom's on your tablet, and I like doing it on the tablet better.
Yeah,
personally.
That shot's actually probably from a while ago too.
Yeah, this was from this is maybe 4 years ago. Erik was with me.
I want to say that was in 2019.
No, I think it has to be
2018.
2018. I don't know. It's from a while back. It's from an old phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to throw those by you there. All right. Stacy's got a question. Stacy. Well, actually, let's jump to Steve's first, because Erik's got up on his screen what he's going to answer Steve's question.
So Steve was asking, I'd like to go to Wallops Islands and shoot a launch. Who do you contact to get the correct location?
You contact Earl.
Earl. Actually, I have a bunch of locations pinned because I've shot there. And so just for reference, so people understand, Wallops Islands, Virginia here's Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Over on the coast, that's the original NASA location was over here in Wallops Island. And there's a launch pad right here, and they shoot off launches maybe twice a year sometimes from there. Couple good places to shoot from. One is right down here. You can see I have it pinned, is this old ferry dock. What's great about this old ferry dock is you have a straight shot to the pad. You are right there, and there's the pad. It is a straight shot. The other place is right here on this road. However, last couple times I've gone, they have this road closed off, but originally I had shot on there, just talked to the farmer whose land it was and asked, and they were like, yeah, sure. But lately, they have not let you out there. So I would say go to the old ferry dock. The other thing is if you're looking for access any closer, like those pad shots, that's where you need to start shooting launches and then go and find somebody who wants to have you cover a launch. Local newspapers, regional newspapers, magazines, online.
But you got to deliver.
Well, not only that, that's what I'm saying. The first question they're going to ask you if you say, I want to shoot a launch is, okay, well, show us some of your images from other launches. And if you're like, well, I've never had access. Well, they've got tons of people who don't have access that go to these places, shoot cool shots.
Yeah, I know.
So
this is the hard part.
That's the hard part is you have to have enough of those cool offsite location shots to have somebody go, okay, they know what they're doing. They can shoot this. And then it's just getting somebody to credential you. That's what it is.
All righty. Stacy says, has anyone asked about hard drives for storage? I'm looking for something a bit larger than a 5 terabyte portable hard drive. Stacy, I'm using a G-Tech 12 terabyte. I think I have two 12s. So, and they're portable. They're about this big. Can you pull it up? The G-Tech?
Yeah.
I'll show you. They're silver. They're about this tall. They're about this big. I can tell you, they're kind of heavy. They're probably 5 pounds. They weigh more than a 70 to 200. I can tell you that. That's it right there.
Discontinued.
Oh, that's not the one I have then. If it's a discontinued, but that's
no longer available.
No longer available. Nice.
Maybe G-Tech is not selling those anymore.
Maybe they're not under the name.
I have a Western Digital.
Great. Oh, I have Western Digitals too. Not that big though.
Yeah, it's like this is about the size of a book.
Yeah, it's about the size.
If I could get it to load. And there it is, like $200. That's
$200.
I have USB 3.0.
Gosh, mine's discontinued. I feel like an idiot now.
And you can get these all the way up
Mine
to
are
20
discontinued.
terabytes if you
Such
want.
a loser.
So
Wow.
there you go. You can go all different sizes. But
I've had good luck with Western Digital.
I've had good luck with Western Digital, so that's why I stick with them.
All right, Ed wants to know, was those photos taken raw with an iPhone? Nope, no raw. I always forget to turn on raw.
He does.
You have to
And
turn
we're out,
on raw, and I
like,
forget all the
I'll
time.
be like, are you shooting that in RAW?
No,
No.
not a one of those was taken with raw. Just a regular. Can you imagine how much better they would be had I thought to shoot
Way
them in
better.
raw?
Way better. But they're already great. But they'd be way better.
Judy says, I'm looking for a new backpack for my Nikon mirrorless. I got a 100 to 600 G2 lens and maybe 2 other smaller lenses that can also hold a travel tripod and a water bottle. Of course, lightweight as well. We're not asking for too much there, are you,
boy.
Judy?
You got a Nikon mirrorless. You got a
All right.
big lens.
Okay,
You got
so
two other
Judy,
lenses.
your first stop is Think Tank Photo.
Yep.
Think Tank Photo makes just the most wonderful bags. Now, so Judy, you want a backpack, huh? All right, hang on, give us a second.
I think.
Now, Erik uses.
Oh, we got these airport essentials. You might need this one actually.
Yeah,
though.
that one. You're gonna need
It's
a little
the-
bigger one.
the
Let's
little
take a look
bigger
at
one.
on Erik's screen here. He's got this.
Possibly this one. Where you can, because the nice part about these, you can put your tripod on the side.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, water bottle, you're gonna probably have to carabiner that, unless you want to get a bigger backpack that has.
No,
place
you don't want
for
to go much
two
bigger than that.
tripods.
No.
I mean, that's kind of
And
big.
see what I would do with
I
that is.
actually like not that one, but I like
You like the smaller
this
one.
one.
That would
But
probably.
again,
Well, no. Look what she wants to hold. That might
do it for you right there.
It's going to be snug. But look, that's got a big long lens. It's got a 70 to 200, which would probably cover her long lens.
Yep.
It's got a body, but it's got 2 flashes in there. She's probably not going to use the flashes.
Yeah.
It's got 2 more lenses in there. I don't know about carrying the tripod on the side and all that.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing with this. The tripod does stick out. Really,
But
it's still possible.
Okay, but here's what I would do. I would take the ball head off and put it inside.
That's what I do.
So I wouldn't have that ball head hanging off the side because the ball head just gets stuck on stuff. You're going down the the aisle of the
that's a great
plane
one
and
right
it gets
there.
stuck. Yeah, just take the ball head off. And
it's a good
put it
side.
in
Now I used to have a way bigger one, but
he had the world's largest backpack. It weighed
I found it just
624 pounds.
Easy to get in and out of planes.
No, but what was nice? He had everything in there.
Yep.
Whatever you want. Hey, do you have a toaster? Whatever you asked Eric, he pop it right out. Anna says, do you have a preferred kit to clean your lens? I'm not sure what to use. Well, we're going to answer that, Anna, when we come back from this last break of the day. We'll be right back. Don't go away. It's break time.
Hey guys, I'm Tuvi and I'm going to show you two really cool products that we at VFlat World sell. So the first one is our duo boards, which are double-sided hyper-realistic backdrops for food and product photographers. They come in two sizes. This is the larger side. We have all different types of textures and designs. These are some of the new ones that came out recently, and they also, there's a bag option available for them. And our other product, which is what we actually started the company with, it's called a V-flat. It's a foldable V-flat, and it's used for portrait and studio photographers to control light on their subjects, to either add light with the white side or use the black side to subtract light, or even block like an unwanted window light coming in.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here with Mr. Kuna. I want to show you guys something that is just, I think, is amazing. All right, so this is only for Mac people, but if you have a Mac, let's do Eric's first because he found the lens kit that he uses.
Well, so this is what you need. You just need to clean your lenses. You just need those accessories to clean your lenses. You need. It's nice to always have these blowers for your lenses and your sensors to clear off your camera of stuff, and then just a nice brush.
There you go. Oh. Lost you for a second.
You need microfiber cloths. You need a lens pen. And then solution. So if you've got a kit like that, I mean, B&H and Amazon, they sell, it's just, you need those items. As far as this one versus that one, I've not noticed that much of a difference. And then we had a question here about recommended kit for cleaning the camera sensor. I actually like these visible dust ones. I mean, they're just easy to use. I clean my sensors with the rocket photography, the rocket cameras. I probably clean them 3 to 4 times a year. Because they're just left out in the elements so much. I always build up dust and stuff inside there. Yep. The one thing you do need if you really start to get into that, the one thing I would recommend is getting one of these loops where you can actually hold it up and it has a light on it. That's if you're really going to get into cleaning your sensor. You don't need these. You can just wipe it off, but these really do help to see that dust on your sensor.
All right, can I show you something really cool?
Yeah.
All right, this is a Mac only thing. All right, so this is Apple Maps. So you just type in Google Apple Maps or in your search, and it'll bring up to you, and it opens up, it launches this app. This app has something incredible in it for travel photography. Just type in, I'm going to type in Paris, France, and it brings up this little thing, right? It's just, yeah, there's like, and you're like, oh, well, that's Google Maps. But it's got a thing called a flyover tour. It renders a 3D image and flies you like it's a drone flight over Paris. Watch this. Give it a second, and it's going to zoom in, and it does it like a drone.
That's so cool.
But it's a 3D render. Watch this.
Well, that's cool for seeing like perspectives and distances.
It's like, hey, there's the Eiffel Tower.
Let's fly around it.
Let's fly around it. I haven't seen this one at Paris. I just did London.
Maybe
and
we're
it's
going over to...
Let's fly right over here to... I don't know where it's going.
We're going to the Louvre now.
Could be, yeah. Could you go to the Louvre? Yep.
Yeah, there's the Louvre.
There's the Louvre right there. It's going to fly right down to it. Let me move my cursor out of the way here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's flying down to the Louvre.
And then maybe over Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's close enough. Notre Dame's right up to the right.
Right to
So
the
maybe
right.
it's going to go right over there.
There's the lock bridge where you get all the locks on them. Oh no, we're turning back around.
Oh, where are we going?
Uh-oh.
You could go to the...
Are we going to
Oh,
Montmartre?
no, it's going back to Notre Dame.
Yep.
There's
there it
Notre
is.
Dame.
Didn't think you were going to see this on the show.
Isn't this cool, though?
It is cool.
And it's rendered 3D. So it's not, these are not photos, right? This is rendered 3D of this in Apple Maps. Apple Maps has gotten so much better. I used it all over Tuscany.
Yeah, it has got
Google
better.
Maps got me lost a couple times. We switched to Apple Maps, and it worked really, really well. Apple Maps, when it first came out, was not awesome. All right, where are we going? To the Museum d'Orsay? Where are we going? Yep. And then across the street is the mini one. I like that. I love that.
That's the Grand Palace, isn't it?
Grand
Grand
what?
Palais.
Yeah, and the mini palais across the street, I really like. But isn't this amazing?
Yeah.
This is just
Arc de
crazy.
Triomphe.
There's the Arc de Triomphe. There we're going to the Champs-Élysées.
Wow.
Isn't this something? I mean, this is just nuts. And just type in this. I just did Prague on the break there.
Now, I imagine it's only the major cities that they're doing this.
Yeah, I don't
right?
think they did Auburndale, Florida.
We could try it, you know.
Port St. Lucie.
Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
But anyway, and if you click your mouse, it freezes wherever you are. So if you need to look at
Oh,
something, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. Okay, it is prize winners time.
time.
So who won our prizes today?
Yeah,
Mr.
so we've got
K.
the travel photography book. Nick 5 is winning the travel photography book. And then How Do I Do That in Lightroom book is going to Tony Mitchell. And then the On One Effects 2022 is going to Ismar CH, Ismar CH. There we go. We're going to go with that. And then On One V Flats are going to Shannon Armstrong. And then Dual Board XL is going to Harvesting Mobley. So just email us over at gridprize.com, gridprize@kelby1.com if you won. Include your shipping address. We'll verify that information, and we will send you out your prize.
Wow.
All right. There we go.
I'm looking at different cities there. How about Mumbai? Do they have Nope, no flyover Mumbai. Anyway,
So it's going to be hit and miss.
it's going to be. Hey, let me just see if the Taj Mahal has one. That's kind of cool, right? In Agra, India, no flyover there.
No.
Oh, that's a shame. But still, I mean, it's still pretty cool. You can still zoom in on it. You can go to, Well, no, you can't zoom in on it. That's as close as you get.
Well,
All right.
There you go.
Well, there you go. The limitations are many. All right, next week we do not have a grid because the Travel Photography Conference is on, so we will have no grid next week. I do want to mention, if I may be so kind. Go to Kelby One Live, and we've got just incredible stuff lined up for you. Great cast of instructors and all kinds of classes. I'm teaching 3 classes.
Yes.
I'm teaching my top 20 travel tips. I'm teaching my top 10 cities to photograph in and why. So I'm going to be talking about that. And then I've got another class. What's my other class? Erik, I got a pre-conference session.
You talked about the location one, or locations to shoot.
Yeah, I forget. I got another one, and if you keep scrolling, you'll probably get to the class schedule, and you'll probably see it, or I could just actually look it up myself. Oh, there it is. Hit Pre-Con Day.
Oh, he was on Pre-Con
Oh, you
Day.
were on Pre-Con Day. I'm doing my travel photography shot list. So a lot of people will tell me that, like, okay, I go to a city, I know to shoot the Eiffel Tower, but what else do I shoot? I mean, I know I'm going to Paris and I want to shoot the main things, but what else do I shoot? Well, I go into great detail and explain exactly what and why, and I actually am going to make a downloadable PDF of you to keep on your phone, so I have a PDF for you.
Awesome. And I'm teaching 2 classes. I'm teaching a class on weather, specifically how to know when to go certain places.
Here's how I know. I call Erik and go, Erik, what are the clouds going to be like tomorrow?
Well, he'll say, oh, think about going. I'm like, I don't know if you want to go that time of year. I was just looking it up, and yeah. So that's one. And then the other one is just photographing outside sometimes those major cities, like, travel photography throughout the whole all of the places. So because like Paris is great, but right outside of Paris are beautiful castles and hills.
You can
get lost in there. And that type of travel photography.
All of that's coming up. Also, I am speaking at the Optic West conference, which I'm very excited about. I'm one of the keynote speakers, along with Franz Lantig. So Franz and I are going to be speaking. It is coming up in 17 days, and you can either go in person for free or online for free. It's completely free.
Awesome.
Now, the Optic Conference of B&H has been in New York City all these years. This is their first time on the West Coast. It's my only West Coast appearance of the year.
And they picked an awesome place to do it.
They picked Monterey, California, and they've got so many things. Like they have a whale watch there. Like they take you out on a whale watch to go photograph whales, and they got all kinds of so many things. And they got vendors and they got classes, and it's all, and it's free. All you have to do is RSVP, and you can either watch it online or you can watch it in person. And I'm doing a whole thing on the iPhone for travel. That's my my topic. So anyway, they've got all kinds of cool stuff. So if you go to B&H Photo, and then up the top, they have things that scroll. One of them, of course, is the Optic West. So it's next month, the 6th and 7th, 17 days away. I hope you'll come. If you're out in California, you're not at that event, you're missing out, because it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's coming up. Optic West. No show next week.
That's the show for this week.
That's the show for this week, and it's going to have to hold you for 2 weeks. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks to our crew. Thanks to all of you, and we will see you in a couple of weeks after the travel conference. We should have some fun stuff to share after that.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you then.